Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here on Forza Horizon 2 with another rally car build. My vehicle today is the new Audi TT. I have to say I quite like this car. I didn't like the first generation TTs, but the second generation ones I quite liked, and this one I also do quite like it. Now it does, of course, being an Audi, it is four-wheel drive, so we don't have to worry about changing the driveline. It does start off as a relatively high PI car. We're sort of mid-A class here, which means we don't have a massive... We'll have to pick and choose what upgrades we can get on, aside from the standardised ones. So the car has to be four-wheel drive. Well, the Audi starts off with that. It must have the Storm Island off-road tyres, which have jumped the PI up quite a lot. Little bit concerning. It's got to have the off-road gearbox to hopefully give us some nice, short, sensible gear ratios for the sort of track that we are running on, and the rally suspension. So we should be able to deal with the bumps and the jumps. Fingers crossed. Doesn't always work, but yeah, let's hope. Actually got some decent ride height in this car. For a sports car, I mean, it's still quite low for a rally car, but for a sports car, it's not too bad. I don't think we should have too many problems with the suspension. Brakes, of course, we're always going to go for the brakes. Now, let's have a look. Weight reduction wise, we can get it down to £2,500. Actually, that doesn't. It's only sort of 44 PI. I thought that could add a bit more PI because it's not too heavy a car to start with. But yeah, that's a decent weight to get the car down to. I will come back with the other parts there. I just want to see how much PI, because we're going to have maximum tyre widths. They are 285s on the Audi. Yeah, that's sensible, and I think we'll have 285s on the front. Normally four-wheel drive cars that are four-wheel drive standard, yeah, they have the same size tyres all round. So there's some decent tyres on here. Not quite as big as some cars, but it should be enough to get us to go. As I said before, the Subaru BRZ Lotus Carlton had around this sort of size tyre on it as well, and they're in the 59 seconds, so it's a decent enough sized tyre. Right, power. I'm not going to swap the engine. There's not really a huge amount of points, seeing as we're already almost at the top of S1 class. What other engines are there? We can have the V10, or we can have the V10 from a Lamborghini, or the V8 from the Ferrari 458. Yeah, they're going to put far too much PI, but they're the engines that you can use in the car. Right, are we going to want aero bits? Oh, look at that wing. Yes, I want aero bits just because the wing, look at the size of that. That's quite an impressive wing. We're going for it. Yeah, if it has an impressive wing, we're gonna have to go for it, and we'll even it out with the front diffuser. We still got it's quite an impressive size sort of front diffuser bit. A lot of carbon fibre went into that. We will put differential while I remember. We might as well go full out on the handling parts with the anti-roll bars. I don't think we're going to need to worry about a roll cage in this car. It's a modern sports car. It should have a good enough chassis not to need this. It is only £89, but I think I'm going to want to try and keep the weight off it as much as I can. Now to the power. Exhaust will be the first thing, because not only does it increase power, it drops the weight, and we're under £2,500. Sorry. I fear this may be quite underpowered. Just looking at the way that the PI is going up, the power is going up and the PI is going up, this may be quite a low-powered vehicle. Admittedly, no, it's not the heaviest that we've seen, but ooh, this is a little concerning, actually. We may be a little down on the power front here. Most of the cars we've seen go round, I'm sort of picking parts at the moment that decrease weight as well, or trying to. Most of the cars that we have seen tended to be, oh bugger it, now it's going to become the fun game of can we balance out the PI bits. Well, we can add these on. They increase the weight a little bit. Any of these are going to get us to a nice round PI. That increases the weight by quite a lot over there. Oh, this bit here is the most annoying when you're trying to use sort of fiddly parts. That's going to increase it. We're kind of going to be stuck, I think, with almost less than 400 horsepower in this car. That's a little concern. I mean, it's light, sure, but it's not that light. It's not, well, I say that. There we go. All right, that's more like it. 404. 404 horsepower in this car. It is on the light side, and I am hoping it will be on the good handling side. But I think we may struggle with straight line speed. I really think we will struggle. We will go for driveline, as this is perhaps the biggest. Bloody hell, that is a lot of weight out of the car. Nearly 30 pounds out of the Audi. It's lighter than I thought, I have to say, even with full-on weight reduction. I was expecting the Audi to perhaps be a bit heavier, but we are quite a lot down on power. So I think straight line speed will be struggling, but I think it could still be quite a quick car. That is my expectations of this vehicle. If it's got this little power and so on, we've got this higher PI, that tends to suggest to me that this might be a very, very good handling car. We will find out, though. Fingers crossed it'll drive. It'll drive nicely. We will go to our normal test track, the Forest Brawl Circuit. I have 5 laps to go as quickly as possible with this car. The current time leader is the Lamborghini Countach with a 59.2 second lap time. I don't think this is quite going to have the speed to beat the likes of the Countach or the Cayman in second, the Viper in third. I don't think we're going to quite have the sort of top speed, if you like. I think this could potentially go under the 1 minute mark. Although now I've said that, it probably is going to be terrible. This I'm hoping will be a really good handling car. And if it is, we could see it under the minute mark, but I don't think it'll quite have the straight line speed to get up right towards the top of the table. How do we do through turn 1? Yeah, it handles turn 1, turn 2. Oh, yeah, we're flat through turn 2, and this next bit we're also flat. Wow, this car is just stuck to the road. Gee, that is a lot of grip that it carries. Alright, just got a little bit of oversteer on the way out of that turn. And, whoa, there is a lot of grip through there, but I'm just going to be a little bit wider, I think, on the way into that corner. The handles very well. I will, as I kind of half expect. Oh, okay, bumps are bad. You don't want to quite go that far out wide. That's not a good place to be going. All right, let's put it back into third. Fourth gear is quite a useful gear, it seems, as well. In this car, most of the mid part of the lap, I think, is going to be done in fourth. How do we fly through the air off the big jump? Ah, look at that. Lovely. That's pretty much the perfect flight path for a car. Straight line speed is not that bad either. That's 138 miles an hour into turn 1. That is not as bad as I thought we may be faring with this car. That's as good as pretty much as anything else. Ooh, that was getting very, very close to the trees. It's quite fun to try and take that corner as fast as possible, run it right to the trees. A little bit scary from time to time. There is just this little bit of oversteer that I'm not liking. It's just on the exit of the corner before the first of the jumps. There's just this bit of oversteer that keeps putting me out a little too wide, and then that throws me for the jump itself. We will have to try and position our car better. Again, we're very, very good through that turn there. It's very very good through there. Again, we're keeping it about 100 miles an hour, and there's one corner it's sliding on. Everywhere else, I really like the way this car is driving. And fly, lovely. It barely loses any speed on the landing there. That is quite impressive from this car. 1 minute 1.2 on a terrible first flying lap. Right, make sure we get it stopped for the first corner, and then it just sort of back end is just starts sliding through here, but that's not a problem. It's this turn here that we have an issue with. We've really got to make sure that we get it turned. Here we go. This is better now. We're sort of more central on the jump, and then we can try and carry the speed. It really doesn't like carrying the speed at that corner there. There's something at whichever place I'm landing it there, the car's just getting really unhappy. Oh no. I'm wondering if it's having issues on these bumps, because that, again, the front end of the car is coming up into the air, and that's really not... I should probably put it down into third for that. The front end's coming up in the air, and then I can't get it turned in. The likes of the Macan and even the 914 that I had the last couple of cars were really good through that final turn. They just smoothed out the bumps, and it was good. You could get it turned in. We are into the 59s already, though, with the... with the TT. Yeah, okay. I was correct about time-wise. Oh, that's a big oversteering moment into turn 1. I think I've lost too much time. Scraped the wall through there. I think we may be having bump issues, though, with this car. Right, We've got to just lift off a little bit so we can settle the car, center it for here, and then, yeah, it's that front is bouncing up on landings. That's what's the issue is. And again, through there, the car is just bouncing up a little bit. So through here, I think I've got to kind of run more up this way. That's better, much better. Ooh, there we hit the bank on the inside. You can get away with doing that in the Macan. You can't get away with doing that in the Audi TT. I think we are actually going quite quickly again, though, on this lap. Despite them issues, the TT is still going quite fast. Well, that's very backed down. Why are we changing your flight path every single bloody time, Audi? 59.7 from the TT. It's quick. I think I may have bodged up my gears slightly for that straight. I don't think I've really lost too much time on the first part. I think the real issue we're having here, that was too much oversteer. Damn it. The real issue is just the bumps. It can't quite deal with them as well as some of the other vehicles. We'll try and take a tighter line through there. Ooh, and then we can carry speed down here a little bit more. Yeah, it's just not really liking the bumps. It's just, it gets chucked about, the front end comes up in the air. I've got to really run that way. There we go, that's better, more speed through there. A little bit too much speed, but we are still going. We might have overshot this corner by a fraction. Come on, Audi, use the acceleration. Go on, car, we can do it. Hopefully, fingers crossed, fly through the air nicely this time like you were early on. That's better. I don't think we're not quite on for a record-breaking lap. We may go ever so fractionally quicker. 59.619 from the Audi TT. That is an impressive time. It puts it into 4th place, knocking the Shelby Cobra down into 5th. This is a really, really nice handling car. Aside from the big bumps, I don't know what it is, why it is in particular for this vehicle, but you hit one of the bumps and the front end just wants to come up into the air, and that's not what you want to be doing through a couple of the corners. When we weren't particularly fast, the corner after the first jump is often where I measure car speed. This one was not particularly fast through there. It just couldn't deal with the bumps, but everywhere else it is very, very quick. I'm quite surprised. Straight line speed is also impressive from this vehicle, despite not particularly a huge amount of horsepower. Yeah, it's light, but it's nowhere near as light as some of the cars we've seen. It's the Porsche we had last time, I think, had more power and was lighter than this. But this car was as quick, if not quicker. It's a really, really very, very good car. I like the Audi TT. Just the bumps screw it over a little bit. If it could deal with the bumps better, this could definitely go at the top of the table. It can't quite deal with the bumps at some of the corners. But there we go. Yeah, the Audi TT is a really rather decent rally car in S1 class. But that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.